there have been a lot of real estate adverts, videos and flyers that have come across, and the center of attraction have always been the C of O. The estate has a C of O, the property has a C of O, and there are also times when I've been discussing with a prospect about the property, and the first question they ask is, does the place has a C of O? Do you guys even know what we mean by a C of O? So by popular demand, in this episode of Meet the Property Guy, I'll be demystifying the entire thing about the C of O, talking about the risk, the advantage, the role, the importance of C of O. And at the end of this video, we want to hear your view. Have you bought a property with C of O before? Or are you planning to buy a property with C of O? And based on the details that I've shared in this video, are there any questions, are there any further questions, or any other thing that you want us to shed more light on? And if you are watching this series for the first time, this is Meet the Property Guy property channel. Here is where we discuss everything real estate, the risk, the tips, advice and guides about buying a property here in Nigeria, what you should and what you shouldn't do. Our advice is subscribe, you follow us for more fantastic videos like this. So let's get into the topic. We are going to start with a definition of what we mean by the C of O. Now, C of O as a word is simply an abbreviation for certificate of occupancy. It's a document which is issued by a government, majorly the state government, although there are instances where the federal government also issue the C of O, but majorly the C of O is always issued by the state government. So it's issued to either an individual or an organization over a parcel of land. This parcel of land can be a plot, can be two plots, it can be an acre, it can be tens of acres, it can also be hundreds of acres. So this document, this certificate of occupancy, gives the individual or the organization exclusive right to settle, develop and reside in that parcel of land. They also have the exclusive right to also sell this property. Now, in a layman's definition, it simply means that there is a parcel of land which an individual or organization goes to the government that, hey, we are the good guys, we need this land. And based on verification, the government sees that they are okay, they are the good guys, and they give them exclusive right to settle or develop on that land. Kindly note that the C of O is a lease only valid for a 99 years period of time. So the government are actually leasing the individual or the organization the land with exclusive rights to settle, reside, develop and sell that parcel of land. So what happens after that 99 years? What happens is anyone that is there by that time obviously won't be you. 99 years is almost a century. So they can go back to the government and renew the C of O. Do you understand? Now let's move into the role of the C of O. What's actually the role of the C of O when you are buying a property? The role of the C of O is just to prove ownership. So let's say you want to buy a plot of land or an acre of land, and a party can actually present a C of O on that land. Then that means that party actually have the right to sell that land. And if the C of O is genuine, very important, then you're actually buying from the genuine owners. So the role of the C of O is just to prove ownership that this party that are selling this land, this company or this individual that are selling this land are actually the rightful owners of this land. You get that? Now let's move forward because there are a lot of points that I want to talk about in this particular episode. So let's talk about the importance and the advantage of having a C of O on a property or buying a property with C of O. I've already mentioned the part of ownership, which means that whenever you are buying a property with proof of ownership, whenever you are buying a property with C of O, it means that you're actually buying from genuine owners of that property. Another advantage is that if there is any issue in case of any legal battle or litigation on that particular land, the party that can present a C of O are actually the genuine owners. I always explain to people that buying a land is not just about you going there and developing that land. You also need to have the right documents and the genuine document to back up your ownership of that land. So it's not a matter of you built there or you've been there for years. It's the party that have the rightful documents that are actually the rightful owners. So if there is any legal battle or any legal litigation on the property or on the land, the party that can actually present the C of O are actually given the rights of ownership. Another importance of having or buying a property with C of O here in Nigeria is mortgage. Whenever you plan to maybe apply for mortgage, either to build or to buy a house, that property needs to have the C of O. Most of the mortgage schemes here in Nigeria that are going to require you to have a C of O on that property, or the property that you want to buy, where you want to develop, must have a C of O. Another importance or advantage of having C of O on the property is when you want to raise funds or get financing for a project or loan, and you want to use that particular property as a standing or a collateral. Most financial institutions here in Nigeria, if you want to take a loan and you want to use a property as collateral, that property needs to have a C of O. So if in the future, anytime you want to plan to use that property to either raise some funds or get financing, then it's advisable that you buy a property with C of O. Now let's go to the scary part, the risk. Before I talk about the risk, let me take some look. Now, every property investment actually have risk. You only need to learn how to minimize or manage that risk. So buying a property with C of O also comes with some risk, and that's one of the things that most realtors are not going to explain to you. Now, the first risk is that whenever you buy a property with C of O, you are still linked to the individual or the organization that was granted the C of O. Most C of O are always global. Yes, something like a global C of O. It means that it covers a large expanse of land, maybe 100 acres, 200 acres, or 50 acres. Now, for you buying a plot or two plots there, you are given maybe a deed of assignment or a deed of sublease. But in the government record, the individual or the organization that was granted the C of O are still the original owners of that property, even though they have sold a portion of that land to you. Now, in case of any future government acquisition and the government want to compensate, they are still going to compensate the individual or the organization that was granted the C of O. Although you can easily go to the individual or the organization to get your compensation, but this is Nigeria. Hope you are getting it now. So if you buy a property with C of O, somehow you are still linked with that individual or the organization that was granted that exclusive C of O. And if any issue occur or any issue happen on that C of O itself, either it was revoked or the C of O is not genuine, or the C of O was used for a loan, it's always going to affect you because you are still linked to those parties. Now, since we get a bit scarier, a C of O can actually get revoked. Revoked means that the government can actually terminate the C of O, maybe for political or for social reasons, and the lease or the grant that was actually given to the individual or to the organization will become void. It happens a lot. There have been cases like that where the government revoked the C of O. Although you can win a legal battle against that, but it can happen. And if the government actually want to take possession of that land, it will happen. You see, one of the things there is that the C of O doesn't mean that the government cannot take up that land. It does not mean that the government cannot take up that property. The C of O simply safeguard that in case the government wants to take up that or wants to acquire that property, they are going to compensate you either in kind or in cash. Hope you are getting it now. The government actually want to take up that property, they can, and if they really want to, they will. But your C of O is just an additional security for you. But based on political reasons, there are times where the government can actually revoke the C of O and render the entire document useless. Now, it even gets more scarier when we've had experiences and reports that an individual or organization that was issued a C of O sold the land to different individuals, and they were given a deed of assignment or a deed of sublease. Then after they have sold the land, they still went on with the original C of O to obtain a loan. After a number of years and they were unable to repay the loan was liquidated, and the financial institution has to come and take up that property, the property that was genuinely bought. You see, one of the risks with buying a C of O is that you are only given a photocopy of the original document. The original document still remains with the issued organization or individual, and quite fraudulently they can still do some fraudulent activities on that original certificate because you are still linked with them. Now, I know all this sound a bit scary, but I don't want you to be scared yet. At the end of this video, I'm also going to share some good news about how you can avert this risk and how you can actually avoid some. But this risk are still attached whenever you are buying a property with C of O. You are still linked to the original individual organization, you government can revoke it, although it happens rarely, but it can happen. And then, God forbid, the original owners, even after they have sold the property, can still do some fraudulent activities on the original documents that are with them. So let's share some good news. The first good news is that you can actually unlink yourself from the individual or the company that was issued the CFO. Now, let's say after you bought the 2 plots of land and you have been given a deed of assignment or a deed of sublease, you see that ownership has been transferred to you. All you need to do is go back to the state government and inform them that, okay, the good guys that you guys issued the CFO and gave a grant to develop and settle in this parcel of land have actually transferred so plots to me. So the government or the governor can now give a consent to that transaction. That's what I mean by a governor's consent. I'm very sure you must have come across some properties and the title document that was written there is governor's consent. It means that the property initially had the CFO, but the party that had the CFO have now sold that property to this currently new owners, and they have gone to the government to actually inform them of the transfer of ownership, and they are now the new owners of that property. So in the government record, it's also be updated that the CFO that was actually or previously issued to so individual or organization, so portion of part of that land have been transferred to you. So any issue or any case that happens on that CFO, you are going to be totally unaffected. Hope you understand that. Another big news is that it's not the CFO that is the only recognized registered title documents in Nigeria. We also have other registered title documents like Excision and Gazette that can also stand almost in the same place with the CFO. So if you also buy a property that has a Gazette or an Excision, you are also buying a property which the government cannot actually acquire without compensation. So a property with Excision and a property with Gazette are also very good alternatives if you are actually scared or very scared buying a property with CFO. If you are watching this video on YouTube, I upload a poll here where I want to know if you guys are actually aware of what we by Excision or Gazette. So you can just fill the poll, and based on the result of the poll, I can actually do another video where I explain about Excision and Gazette. So that's it. That's the CFO entirely demystified. I've talked about the definition, the roles, the importance, and also the risk that are attached to buying a property with CFO. So with all the points that I've shared in this video, is there anything that you don't understand yet? Is there any part of it which you want us to shed more light on? You can drop a comment here. Anyway you are watching this video, just drop a comment on it. We are actually going to respond to your comment. You can alternatively reach us on our official WhatsApp channel. Give us a phone call, give us a WhatsApp call, and also attend to your inquiries diligently. As you remain your one property guy on the planet, your property advisor, your property consultant, Rabiu Mustafa. Don't forget, if you are watching this on YouTube, kindly subscribe. And if you are watching this either on Facebook, on Twitter or Instagram, follow and like our page at Meet the Property Guy for other fantastic videos like this. Thank you.